What's good? It's Cantgo, tapping in with Smooth Studios, and this is my smooth session. If someone only had 30 seconds to get to know you, what would you tell them? 30 seconds. I'm Cantgo. I'm a songwriter and performer. I've performed in Detroit, Tallahassee. I've been to the Grammys. I love music and I love cannabis. I'm a cannabis entrepreneur too. So that's about everything you need to know about me right now, because from here, you're gonna see the rest. Have you ever made a huge mistake that ended up being a blessing in disguise? Honestly, yeah. Back in like 2022, I had got caught up in just some bullshit for real on a legal tip, which, you know, I recommend everybody stay in school, bro. Stay in school. School is like essential. And so I would say that it ended up being a blessing in disguise because of my circumstances, I was really kind of encouraged to look on to new options. And that's when I made a decision to come to FAMU. And being down here has been the blessing in disguise I didn't know I needed to really put me on the path to where I am now. What's a personality trait that you inherited from your parents? I would say my humor, probably. My mama, she's hella silly. My pops is too. And so as much as like my mom is a business person, I feel like I've also inherited that too. Like I'm, you know, silly, but very serious. And you know, I get shit done. Oh, bro. You wake up and realize your dominant hand has been replaced with a kitchen utensil. What's the worst and best option? Damn. Low-key a fork. Like, I would need a fork as a hand, if anything. You can do more with forks than you can. Like, you can still cut, you feel me? You can still scoop, you feel me? If it come down to a fight, somebody gonna be way more scared of a fork than a spoon, you feel me? But if you got a knife, you kind of extremely dangerous your entire life, and nobody wants to be around you. That's funny, actually. Be careful in New York City. People, real life, walk around with knives on them. If your phone could talk, what's the first thing it would roast you for? Probably being a damn goofball. Like, I'll be just in my house, and I feel like that kind of just contributes to like my personality. Just like, I have a lot of energy, and so like I'll be just rhyming out loud. I be thinking out loud all the time and shit like that. But it really kind of helps me. And so my phone probably sees a whole lot of craziness that it would rather not. I know, Siri, you watching me, so don't be telling them. What pet would you never get and why? Cats. I don't fuck with cats. Cats are cooked, very cooked. Not only am I allergic to cats, but you can't walk a cat. You feel me? Like, you always got to be in the house with your cat. Why would you want to be with a pet that don't get you out the house? I had a fish before one time. I don't know if I would recommend that because my fish died in like 2 weeks, but that's also why you don't take goldfish from the State Fair. RIP baby girl, she didn't last long. If you could relive one moment from the Grammys, what would it be? Wow, that's funny. There was a Grammy party. It wasn't even like the actual night of the Grammys, but there was a Grammy party. I want to say it was like maybe 2 days before, and I was just kind of like at what's called like the Grammy House, which is where they host like other events. Like, they be having like mixer sessions and stuff like that. One night it was a party, like a red carpet party and stuff like that. I was fly as hell too, and ordering a drink, and I turn around like when I'm ordering my drink, and BK the Ruler standing behind me. I'm like, but it caught me like so off guard, because like, mind you, I'm like in line ordering a drink, and everybody else who I met during this time, like I met like the founder of BET, I met Lil Durk, like I met so many people on this trip, and like was able to like talk to them comfortably, even like Lenny Kravitz, like type shit. And so when I saw her behind me, I think that shit was just way too kind of like, whoa. And so I was like, oh shit, BK, like I fuck with your music. But like, I definitely would relive that moment and be like, I'm not only fucking with your music, but 100% about to remix one of your songs. So be on the lookout for that. Was there a defining moment when you knew music was your path? Yeah, honestly, I would say I've had a couple defining moments. And that's the beauty of life, like being reminded of like those moments, I feel like, throughout. When I was maybe about 14, This had to be like 2016 was like when I really kind of actually started making music for the first time. You know, I was just experimenting, you know, putting songs out, just trying shit for real, for real. If motherfuckers end up finding my old music one day, which it happens to be only in like one place, which I'll let people find. All my old music, I feel like, was just literally me kind of experimenting. I mean, because I really wasn't serious about it quite yet, like I didn't really know it was my path. However, I've always been like a very visionary person, like especially when, you know, it comes to creating. And like when I create things, it helps me to see a vision for what, not only what I'm creating, but where my creations are going. I remember just making music back then and kind of seeing like, oh, like, damn, I'm getting streams and stuff like that. Just having visions of like, damn, like I could be an artist one day. I don't know if I really want to do that though. I feel like straying from that is what eventually led me back to it. Taking the route of just, you know, trying to be more on a student path. Cause, you know, I had just a lot of older relatives, not like super old, like older cousins, older friends and stuff like that, that like didn't choose that path and, you know, did take the music route. And I've seen just like how it's, you know, maybe hindered or slowed down their ability to grow just because of their lack of education and resources, understanding of just how to do shit like treat everything like it's business, you feel me? And that's what one thing that not only school, but being a business school has taught me. Going into like Indiana, where I was first at college, I had a point where I reached that I kind of realized like, damn, I'm not where I want to be in life. I feel like the decisions that I'm making are only just leading me to more confusion. And that was interesting because it was never like I was a bad student. You know, I always had good grades. I literally got a full ride at Indiana. Outside of school, I was always getting into shit. A mixture of the two. It was like I'm following a school path I don't really understand. I'm doing shit outside of school I don't really understand. Just led me to like, damn, the only thing that I really understand that I love is music. And when I started following that, like I was saying earlier, I made a decision to transfer. I came down here and just started, you feel me, looking into different opportunities. I've done like internships, you know, where I've worked at companies and helped them have partnerships with labels and artists and things like that. I've worked in broader marketing aspects as well. Getting that work experience, being in no experience, like no school, no work, having nothing at all. A mixture of all of that led me back to like, yeah, I'm an artist and this is my path. Like not just being in the world of music, but being a creator. If you could give advice to your younger self, what would it be? Open your eyes, honestly, open your eyes. I knew a little bit younger, you know, that I was starting to develop a love for music. And in high school, you know, there were times at which I would still kind of pursue that in other ways. Like in my last couple years, I learned how to play the piano. You know, in my first couple years of college, I was still kind of like fooling around making songs here and there. It took me, I would say, longer than it needed to take it seriously, which really isn't even too long. Like, I'm 22 years old, so I'm not like old. But like, if I could have told my younger self this, then like, I could have saved myself a lot of trouble. I could have always been living a happier and more progressive life. Cause it's like, once I got on the path of following my passion, and following like where I know that God wants me to go as far as my life, everything has made sense. I be in the most challenging spots that I can imagine. And literally just because I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be, and because I always constantly like pray and just do my best to listen to God's voice, like I always find a way through whatever I do. And shit, that predates like going to like my first mixtape, you feel me, Shake Back season. Like that's what that shit was about, being able to prevail. That's in essence who I am, why my name is Cantgo. I would have just told myself to embrace that, you know, a lot earlier. Final words for the people, I would say stay tuned, like, and if you ain't tuned in yet, tune in. Because I ain't even gonna sit here and be on no conceited shit, but I work hard to be the greatest, and so I will be the greatest. And that's that. Yo, it's Cantgo, and I'm here with Smooth Studios. This was my smooth session.